Hey everyone, Mophead here. So, if you're a Freedomtoons fan, and you obviously saw the title and thumbnail of this video, I would encourage you to at least stay and watch the video in full. I mean, if you want to just leave a dislike and then yell at me in the comments, that's okay. But I would say, hey, at least hear me out. So I would just like to announce that before we get started on this video. Anyway, let's jump into this. Now, some of you may be wondering why I have chosen to criticize Freedomtoons instead of another right-winger. Well, first of all, I will be going on to criticize other conservatives, and second of all, Freedomtoons is like propaganda. You want to criticize propaganda and show where the propaganda fails, where it's untrue. And that is my intention in making this video, and hopefully to convince some Freedomtoons fans, hey, this guy kinda freaking sucks. Alright, so some of you may know who Freedomtoons is. He's he just makes idiotic, conservative, political cartoons, and that's about it. But his most recent one is just so goddamn cringy. I had to make a video on it. I mean, I don't know how many brain cells I've already lost, but it's looking grim. It's looking grim for my brain cells, people. Anyway, let's start the video.
There are over 500,000 homeless people living on the streets in America. Forgotten, unheard, holding problematic opinions. That's right. Some homeless people are bigots, which is why Canceled Hobo has created a database of problematic homeless people, so you know you're not feeding anyone with the wrong opinions.
What? I think he's trying to parody cancel culture here, but this is an absurd comparison. Absolutely absurd. First, he didn't even show some backwater BuzzFeed article oh, well, some homeless people have problematic opinions. He didn't even show some articles. Sometimes he usually does that. For this video, he gets a newspaper clipping, or I guess news article clipping, puts it in the front of his video, and then makes a cartoon off that. I think he's just making an absolutely absurd, I guess, parody of cancel culture. And by the way, Republicans are the ones that are oh, to the poor, oh, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, guys. All right? They're not the ones proposing that, hey, maybe we should address systematic issues that lead to poverty and homelessness. They're not those type of people. All they freaking do is, oh, you should have worked harder. Oh, you should have just pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. So it's just absurd. He's making this comparison to the left is all I can say. Anyway, let us carry on with this cringe.
The idea came to me when a homeless man told me he didn't believe in white privilege. What was I supposed to do? Call his boss? That's when I realized there had to be some way to hold the homeless accountable. So we developed Canceled Hobo. Canceled Hobo uses facial recognition technology to allow you to read and write reviews of homeless people so that you don't end up funding bigots.
I remember a few years ago I gave a homeless person some leftovers, only to discover that he was only homeless because he had been fired for a racist tweet. I was really horrified. It was like I was undoing the hard work of anti-racist activists. Thankfully, with Canceled Hobo, now I know when to help a starving person and when to keep walking.
Canceled Hobo lets you know which homeless people have problematic opinions and which ones should be fed. Canceled Hobo, allowing white liberals to...
I like how he just skips the veteran to say that the left is unpatriotic. I'll tell you what's unpatriotic. Unpatriotic is throwing essentially is not taxing the rich to help the majority of your country's population. I'll tell you, that's unpatriotic. You know what else is unpatriotic? Not supporting healthcare for all, which would be a huge relief to many of their fellow countrymen. The truth is, they're not patriotic.
With a clear conscience.
No one's buying our app.
You should have marketed to a demographic that cares about poor people.
Wow, Freedomtoons over here. Oh, the Republicans are the party of the working class, guys. The Republicans are. Oh, never mind that. We don't support policies like taxing the rich and free healthcare or anything like that. That would disproportionately benefit the working class. But remember, we're the party of the working class, guys. By the way, I'm gonna continue on this point where he's like, oh, the Republicans are the people that really care about the poor. A couple days ago, when Biden proposed increasing the taxes on the rich, Ben Shapiro flipped out. And then one of his, I forget, he was some guy like CancelCon or something, freaking like said, oh no, yeah, we should lower the taxes on the rich and tax the poor more.
In order so that he can determine where the dollars go. This jackass who's never created a single job in his entire life.
The people who don't pay their fair share in this country are the poor. We need to raise taxes on the poor. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. The poor in this country pay zero. The lower middle class in this country pay net zero. So we have a group of people who pay no taxes, a group of people who pay no net taxes, a group of people who pay all the net taxes. And his argument is that it's category 3 who don't pay their fair share. Fair share.
And by the way, that's not the only example of conservatives hating the poor. Recently, on a Kaitlyn Jenner interview on Fox News, she stated, hey, you know what really sucks about the homeless people? The fact that private jet owners have to deal with them. That's right. Not the actual fact that, oh, homelessness is a problem because it affects a large amount of people and that we need to fix those systemic issues. No. It's because it affects private jet owners. Here's the clip.
My friends that live in California actually were at my hangar. The guy across right over from me, he was packing up his hangar. I said, where are you going? And he says, I'm moving to Sedona, Arizona. I can't take it here anymore. I can't walk down the streets and see the homeless. I don't want to leave. Okay, either I stay and fight or I get...
Yet another example of Republicans absolutely despising the poor in this country is when not a single one voted to back the COVID-19 relief bill. Despite a poll showing that 70% of Americans approved of the bill, not a single Republican voted for it, even though it would disproportionately affect the poor. There is an article from The Hill going over this, and also an article from Insider going over this. Both are stating, hey, not a single Republican in either chamber voted to approve the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. By the way, Democrats were willing to compromise with the Republicans to get their packages out because it would still at least do something for the American worker, for the average American in poverty. But Republicans are not willing to do the same. Why? Because they do not care about the poor. Oh yeah, guys, they're really the party of the working class. And there you have it, guys. The Republican Party is not, as a matter of fact, the party of the working class. And again, the absurdity of comparing cancel culture to homeless people is absolutely just ridiculous. Anyway, Mophead out.